My name is Natalie Fani-González, council member in District 6, and I'm the chair of the Economic Development Committee, where DPS is part of our committee. I'm gonna let the county executives team talk about the importance of this day, but what I do want to emphasize that when we talk about building safety, let's never forget the workers that are actually in construction. That's why I have our union and workers here, people who are every day building our county. Lo voy a decir en español. I'm going to say a couple of things in Spanish. Lo que quise decir, pónteme por aquí para poderte ver. Estamos celebrando el Día de la Construcción, seguridad en la construcción, pero eso también tiene que ver con la seguridad de nuestros trabajadores para poder construir estos edificios. So I was saying that the great importance of making sure that our workers are safe and they are trained and they're paying good wages and a prevailing wage when it applies to ensure that that we're building in amazing properties in our community. And with that, I'm going to have the county executives team. Maybe Dr. Stoddard can start with us first.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I'm Earl Stoddard here on behalf of the county executive. He regrets not being able to be here, but obviously Building Safety Month is an incredibly important time when we recognize the value of code and code enforcement in keeping people safe. As the former emergency manager for the county, I've spent a lot of time on scenes of pretty tragic incidents. And while I value our first responders in the audience particularly, I think the work that the folks that are here from Department of Housing and Community Affairs and Department of Permitting Services is as important, if not more important, because we all agree that preventing or mitigating the impact of a disaster is just as important and probably saves as many or more lives than actually responding to it in many cases. And so the role of the county government and the work that we do is to set forth common sense regulations that try to make buildings be safe, both for the workers who work in and build them, but those who live and work in them and play in them, but also then enforce those regulations to make sure that people are following with compliance. So Building Safety Month is when we recognize the work that everyone does to try and make sure we mitigate and prevent accidents before they happen. So obviously May starts tomorrow, and so with May we'll be launching a new program that's a free deck and maintenance inspection program that the county does every year. We have about 250 slots, and so starting tomorrow you can reach out to the Montgomery County 311 and schedule your free deck inspection with a DPS inspector. The cities of Gaithersburg have their own permitting departments who will do the work, but certainly through the rest of the county you can get your free deck inspection starting tomorrow. The importance of getting the message out there about Building Safety Month is really so that the public has awareness about how they keep their homes safe and why the rules are made. And so when they hire a contractor or a worker, making sure that they're following the rules and regulations of the county, making sure that work gets inspected make sure it's permitted on the front end, inspected on the back end, is all about making sure that the work is done correctly and safely, and that your home or your business is going to be safe moving forward. So I thank Councilmember Fani-González, the members of the County Council, for recognizing this event. It's super important that we keep our buildings safe and for all who live, work, and play in Montgomery County. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stoddard. I'd like to recognize and thank our council, Montgomery County, as well as our county executive. I am Rabia Sabakan, Director for the Department of Permitting Services, DPS. It's May. May is upon us, and it's that time of year, Building Safety Month. We actually love that time of year, but for us, safety, we do that year round. It goes without saying. We are one government. DPS, we're kind of like the face of permitting, and it's really our mission to fulfill that mission for safety. That's the essence of what we do. We talk a lot about, how we do permitting, and also I'm looking at my fire officials. We work close hand with our sister departments, such as the fire department, HHS, DOT, to respond to situations and incidents. But by and large, the permitting operation, that is how we ensure safety. And we do that proactively. 40,000 permits we review and issue every year. 150,000 inspections we perform over the year. Also, 65 service requests, which includes our responses to emergencies. That's all in the spirit of safety. We want to make sure that Montgomery County is the safest county we can be. And it's not just DPS. Like I said, we have to work very closely with our sister departments to ensure that safety is had for our residents, our businesses, And, not only for the people that live and work here, but also we're ensuring the protection of our structures and buildings and our natural environment. So it's not just the built environment, but that's our mission. We talk a lot about, Dr. Stoddard just alluded to the deck inspections that we perform. It's become so popular. When we start a good thing, the demand gets so high, we actually had to limit it to 250 because we've got to still maintain our regular operations. But 250, we feel that that's still sufficient. But hey, that's important, and it's kind of caught on. We're getting a lot of media attention, have been over the last few years, just for the deck inspections. But if you think about it, it's the proactive nature. It's being able to go out and perform who does that? Montgomery County, go out and perform free deck inspections, being proactive. May, you have your cookout starting around Memorial Day. We want to make sure that your hangers, your fasteners are all straight when you have those 15 family members on that deck. But that's the spirit of what we're trying to do here when it comes to safety. So we look forward to doing all that we can and raise the awareness Building Safety Month this month. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think that's all for the speakers, right? Yes. And again, once again, thank you so much to the Mid-Atlantic Pipes Trade for being here and making sure that our workers and the vast majority immigrants, and I had to say it because I'm an immigrant, and this is the type of things that we do. When we come to this country, we come to work. And you see it every day when you go to every single site, construction site in this Washington, D.C. region and nationwide. So making me very proud. Thank you. Mil gracias. So I'm going to ask Dr. Stoddard to please read the proclamation with me. I'm going to start. The County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland proclamation, whereas Montgomery County, Maryland is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and essential role of homes, buildings, and infrastructure play both in everyday life and when disasters strike, and
Whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings is achieved through the devotion of vigilant guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, builders, designers, design professionals, engineers, laborers, plumbers, electricians, tradespeople, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure safe construction of buildings, and
whereas dedicated members of the Department of Permitting Services who work with other county departments, including Fire and Rescue Services, thank you, Housing and Community Affairs, and Transportation, ensure the built environment embodies the county's full commitment to adopt and administer the most up-to-date and the highest quality safety and building performance codes to protect lives in the buildings where we live, learn, work, and play, and
whereas these building codes include safeguards to protect the public from fire and national disasters such as earthquakes, snowstorms, hurricanes, tornadoes, wildfires, and floods, and
earthquakes. Whereas the theme of Building Safety Month 2024 is Mission Possible, and encourages all of us to raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale, including ways to be more sustainable to ensure a cleaner and greener tomorrow. And whereas each year, in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local, state building departments, fire prevention bureaus, federal agencies, and protecting lives and property. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Mark Elrich, as County Executive, and Natalie Fani-González, as Council Member, and the entire County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland, hereby proclaim May 2024 as Building Safety Month in Montgomery County. We encourage residents to join in honoring our commitment to our building professionals in county departments that keep our community safe. Signed today by County Executive Elrich, myself, Natalie Fani-González, and our Council President, Andrew Friedson. Thank you so much.